Without Taawoun, we have been delighted to use MyGamePlan this season. And when it comes to opposition analysis, we were able to create many trackers that replicate what we try to see on their patterns, on how their main chances are creating and conceding, and how they win or end up losing games. So here it's one example where we are assessing their breaking passes completion. Once I go open here to show exactly what I'm talking about, we are taking into consideration the passes. There are all here between their midfield, their defensive line. So we take into consideration the tracking aspect of it, the player's position, as well as within the block. So breaking passes internally, basically, and between the midfielders and defenders, they only the ones that start in front of the midfielders. It could be between midfielders and forwards, or even before forwards. So you will see a lot of those coming sometimes from the goalkeepers, depending who they're playing against, from the fullbacks, the midfielders, the center backs, depending on the wingers or players that come a little bit deeper. So only forward passes in terms of the orientation, and taking consideration only medium and short passes. We exclude the long passes. And this is all related to the way we see the game and the way we approach the oppositions and the preparations to them. So, for example, if we go on the last game, we can see here on that map that out of 5, only 1 was complete. 4 were misses, but in this case, very diverse. And when we open the sample a little bit more, and then sometimes we do that into the magnitude of the game and the opposition, sometimes in terms of a new manager or even formations they are playing against, or playing home, playing away, but that also can give us some insights. Let me add 2 more here. So in 3 out of them, we'll see that it happens more on the right side from deeper sides. They do have, let me open up a bit more to give more options here. So we see that it happens quite a diverse, not as many in the middle, so more on the sides. And as we go through on the right side, they have more completion, even with one of them creating a goal, a shorter one with a goal as well here on the center. And for us to give the context, to contextualize for the coaching staff, we go through the videos of them. So no goal ending in this case from the last couple games, the shot ending a couple, but even on the completed one, it's important for us to see that if it didn't create a goal per se, it could have created a box entry by passes, by carrying, or a cross even that was still a good chance to score, just not led to a shot. And the other point is understanding on where the misses are happening, so we can take into consideration here the areas where the passes are most missed when they are trying to play through. We also use the data explorers to see players, the average and the percentage they are missing those passes, and then by watching we give context, we give more insight, more knowledge and wisdom about what we are trying to see, not just the data per se. So all these breaking down we take into consideration when assessing something like this, as well as seeing any pattern on a longer range. So here we can see that the completion has dropped on the last couple games. We also see the teams they are playing against, which could play a role on that as well. So we don't want to only see either the good ones or the ones that were like a total. On the ratio through the platform also allows us to use this ability here to highlight. So for not a better, but a different perspective. It's a easier tool for me when I'm assessing them, sometimes even for reporting in terms of screenshot and sending to the coaching staff. But this is just one of them. For instance, here we use the mid block, so any passes that happen in the mid third of the field as well. So we can also have, which would assume a mid block defensive line. We could also have a similar one on a high block or even on a low block, seeing whenever they are attacking against a team defending, like emergency defending or in low block defense, if that scenario ever happened in the game. So that's one thing. And as mentioned before, this is just one of them. We have other trackers that will guide through similar situation but working on sequence. So even from these one, I could have built, I could use a sequence saying that this type of pass was happening before a final third entry or before a box entry. So then I would be able to see the sequence and then seeing patterns of where on the pitch the sequence usually takes if it's coming. So from experience, we've seen teams that would have something similar to this, diagonal pass from the wings, from the flanks to the middle, like the half space, ending up with a through ball. Some other teams ends up with another diagonal and finishing the game here. Other teams will be more of a connections on the side. So when I combine these assessment or these analysis from this specific tracker, I combine with all the information and knowledge that I acquire from the other ones to provide the coaching staff a more in-depth and continuous complementary analysis of this team on this particular moment of the game, the building up and leading to creating chances, and as well as how effective those are and how can we protect them from them, how can we block them and create our own attacking transitions, for example.
Like
so my direct communication is with the coach staff, and that information comes in two ways. One is the report that I mentioned that will have information regarding to the first phase of build up with images and data with a quick description of the summary of each moment. And the second part, whenever we play the video and create a playlist, that would allow, and then it's shared with all the coaching staff, that would allow them to see in continuous video the footage, something that I sent to them here, and I also have a report that has the moments of the action with description through phases of the game. And in addition to that, all the players that are using the app, whenever they go for the next opposition, they are able to see all the trackers that we are talking about. So quickly getting that information. In these cases, if we are talking, it could be on the midfielders line and how to try to block those passes. Could be the defender line in terms of being ready to step up and intercept. And then this is particularly positive for us on the way that we defend, and being a team that has been able to intercept a good amount of passes when try to play with through us.